Hello. It is 11:46 p.m. and I'm talking to myself again like a maniac. My day's been fine today. I wouldn't say anything out of the ordinary has happened. My dad tore down a part of the wall of the house because there was mold in it, and the house had been smelling, and I hadn't noticed it, but apparently they had, and that's why they tore a hole in the wall. Or he didn't tear a hole in the wall. He just took off the entire wall. And I was so confused. It stunk so bad, but I think that problem sorted out. Tonight, I'll usually have tea. I have my candle lit. I have chamomile tea. Chamomile, however you say it. It's definitely among the blander of teas, but that's why I like it. It tastes very good. It's definitely much softer than the lemon ginger I had yesterday. It's got quite more of an earthy taste to it. It's not like dirt earthy, but you know what I mean. I haven't really had a plan. These aren't planned. This is just me talking to myself and creating ideas with myself. And speaking of ideas, I would like to talk about that. Just ideas as a whole. Creativity, the process of creativity. It's definitely an interesting one because our human brains are so complex in so many ways that sometimes it's hard to just kind of sit down and think about it. For example, you are your brain. So when you're talking about your brain, you're technically speaking of yourself in third person. Your brain is just, I kind of can see it like a jellyfish, because you have at the head of a jellyfish, you'd have the head of your brain, and all the tentacles would be your nervous system. Your brain's just connected to your nervous system, firing all these signals back and forth to tell you to do specific things. It's very interesting. Because the way just all that's connected, it's so complex in nature. It almost seems unnatural. Intelligent life is truly a spectacle. And obviously with the way that our brains work, human thought processes are so complex and complicated and so free form and so, how do I put it? Yeah, they're very free, like I said, free formed. And that's where the whole thing with creativity comes in. Your brain curates these ideas and it gives you inspiration to do things. Like, for example, an artist, from whatever age you're at, you get inspired by something, or you just get inspired and you start drawing and you get better at it and you become an artist. It's very a very practice related thing. Practicing is probably one of the most important things that you can do, to just do anything, because you only have one life, and why spend it practicing nothing when you could be practicing something at least every day? It helps to keep your thoughts flowing creatively. Like I was talking about creativity, it helps to stabilize yourself mentally. So if you're having mental problems or just in a bad spot, finding a hobby or an interest is one of the best things you can do to get yourself on track, because one, it just kind of distracts you from whatever you're worrying about, and it helps put you in a better light because it gives you something to focus on besides whatever you're worrying about. And two, it's just generally good. It's a generally good thing to do. Our brains were built to be tested and trained and put to a test and challenged every day. So, I'd say that's one of the most important things you can do. Like, for example, learning to play an instrument, or learning to draw, or learning a new language. Like, I'm learning a new language. As far as instruments goes for me, I know how to play ukulele. I can't really boast that ukulele isn't one of the higher up there languages to, not languages, I'm all over the place. It's not one of the higher up there instruments to learn. It's definitely more of a basic instrument. I could go get it. Hold on. Alright, I've got it. Most of the songs I know are songs that I've made myself. So for example, I'll just play like a little thing here. It's definitely a fun little instrument. I have lyrics to those, but I'm just not in the mood to sing right now. But playing ukulele is definitely one of the funner things I can fill my time with. It's a good hobby. It gets your brain thinking, and it's a very, music and instruments as a whole are a very amazing thing. They're just so, because music music is almost unexplainable, because like these patterns of sounds somehow create this reaction in our heads that just makes us think like, oh, that's good. And everybody has their own type of reaction, and that's where music tastes and genres come from. It's like connecting to what I was saying earlier. It's complex. It's so absurd in nature. It's definitely something to get you thinking about. I would recommend learning how to play an instrument, even if I don't care if it's the harmonica, I don't care if it's a keyboard or a ukulele or anything. It's like that, having a skill to show off like that, it definitely boosts your self-esteem, because people look at you and they're like, oh, hey, that guy can play such and such. He's not better in a sense, but that's just something he can do. It's something that when it's a memory that when your friends or your family, when they think of you, it's something that they connect to you, and everything is tying together. Connections, like I've talked about earlier, everything connecting to the parts of what I've been saying so far. Connection between you and your memories is one of the most important things to keep in tune in your life. Hold on. That tea is so good. So yeah, definitely, if you have any goals that you're working towards right now, definitely just stay sharp, stay determined, don't give up, because in the end, you've only got one chance, and might as well live in the moment and do it now, Time doesn't wait for anybody. Saying you'll do it now or saying you'll do it later, it doesn't matter. Or not saying you'll do it now, but saying you'll do it later is irrelevant, because the march of time isn't going to say, oh, I'll just wait for you until you're ready. No, time moves on. You better get going on what you want to do right now, because you've only got, as far as you're concerned, you've only got one chance. You could die tomorrow. You could literally die tomorrow and never get a chance to do that. But imagine if you did that today, started doing it today, and that somehow saved your life the next day, or it somehow saved your life a week from now, or it could just, imagine, alright, let's say, for example, you are trying to get better at mathematics, and you want to just study and keep going, getting good at mathematics, because when it comes to that point where you need to get, how do I put this? It comes to a point where if you get good enough at something, it opens doors, it opens opportunities, it opens ideas for you to go to, like jobs or careers or other skills that are related to the subject. It's all connected. So if you want to learn math and get really good at math, you could get a better job in, I don't know, accounting. I don't think I'm old enough to know about jobs and crap like that. I'm not gonna worry about it for now. But oh my god, this tea's so good, huh? Yeah. Another thing I've realized is, obviously nobody's listening to these, but how all over the place I am just stuns me. If you were another person, or if you are another person listening to this, all the stuff I've done so far, you probably have no correlation between any of these. Any of the things I've talked about, I'm all over the place, I'm a mess. That's the thing with our brains, they just get so clogged up, and at the end of the day, you just kind of need to let it out. So, sorry if I seem a bit all over the place, but this tea is so good, dude. Oh. That tea is A tier. Chamomile tea. Go drink it. I'd say I'm pretty relaxed. I'm ready to just lay down and put on some music, put on some lo-fi. Definitely go listen to lo-fi. Out of all music genres, lo-fi is up there with my favorites. It's just so relaxing. It's just something about it. It's like entrancing. It's very nice. So yeah, I'll probably go ahead and do that now. I'll finish this really good tea. And I know nobody's listening to this, but if you are, thank you for listening to my rambling. See ya.